ChatGPT.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of 20 Questions with ChatGPT, which marks the 8th time we've done this format. If you're still keeping count, congratulations, I guess. While you're flexing those math skills, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. It's good for the YouTube algorithm and for my ever-evolving self-esteem. As always, my guest for the next 20 questions is ChatGPT. Welcome back.
Thank you, Taryn. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tonight's topic is one that affects us all: aging. Whether you're 17 and feeling invincible or 70 and wondering why your knee sounds like bubble wrap, aging is one of those things we all experience, but don't always understand.
Fortunately, I'm here to help explain what's happening, without developing any wrinkles in the process.
Now that's just showing off, so where are you this time, ChatGPT?
This week's background comes from a prompt labeled, "Timeless Library with Warm Lighting, Plants, and Comfortable Chairs."
A cozy place to contemplate the passage of time.
Exactly. If you listen closely, you can almost hear the sound of decades slipping by.
Great. Nothing like the warm glow of existential dread in a soft chair. Well then, ready to dive into 20 questions about aging?
More ready than your lower back after sitting too long.
That was uncalled for, but let's begin. What's actually happening in the body when we age?
Aging is basically your body's slow shift from repair mode to maintenance-only mode. Over time, cells stop dividing as efficiently, damage builds up in DNA, and systems like your immune and cardiovascular systems don't work quite as well. Think of it like wear and tear on a car, except your body doesn't get new parts easily. It's not just one thing. It's a bunch of tiny changes that add up across your whole body, from your skin to your brain.
Can you actually slow down the aging process, or is that a myth?
You can't stop aging, but you can influence how it unfolds. Things like regular exercise, sleep, healthy food, and lower stress really do help slow some of the physical and mental effects. It's not about magic pills or secret hacks. It's about consistently making choices that reduce wear and tear on your body. Scientists are also exploring things like fasting, cold exposure, and new medications, but the basics still matter most. So yes, you can age slower, just not in a sci-fi way. Yet.
What are the most surprising ways aging affects the brain?
Most people expect memory loss with aging, but some of the changes are less obvious. For example, the brain tends to get slower at processing info, but it gets better at spotting patterns and making emotional decisions. You might not remember names as fast, but your judgment or empathy may improve. Another weird one. The brain physically shrinks, especially in areas tied to learning and memory. But staying mentally active, like doing puzzles, learning new things, or socializing, can help keep it sharp.
What's happening to most people's bodies and minds around age 40?
Around 40, a lot of people notice subtle changes creeping in. Slower metabolism, more recovery time after workouts, and maybe some new aches or stiffness. Hormone levels start to shift too, which can affect energy, mood, and sleep. Mentally, it's often a turning point. People get more reflective, sometimes questioning their careers or life goals. But it's also a time of growing confidence. Many feel like they finally understand themselves better. It's less about decline and more about learning how to adapt.
Why do people often feel invisible or overlooked at age 60?
By 60, a lot of people feel society starts treating them as past their prime, especially in places that value youth like pop culture or the workplace. There's also a shift in identity, maybe kids are grown or retirement is near, and that can leave people feeling like they've lost their role or voice. But the truth is, many in their 60s feel energized, wise, and capable. The invisibility isn't real. It's a cultural bias we're just starting to challenge more openly.
At 80, what abilities tend to decline? And which ones actually improve?
At 80, physical strength, balance, and short-term memory often decline, but not everything goes downhill. Many people become more emotionally stable and less reactive. Long-term memory and vocabulary can stay strong, and decision-making often becomes more thoughtful. The body may move slower, but the mind can still be sharp, especially with regular social interaction and mental stimulation. Aging isn't just loss, it's also refinement. A lot of people at 80 say they care less about what others think and more about what really matters.
Why do older people often say time feels like it moves faster?
It's not just a feeling. There's some science behind it. As we age, our brains process new experiences more efficiently, which means fewer novel memories get made. When we're young, everything feels new, so time feels fuller. But when routines kick in and things feel familiar, the brain sort of compresses that time. That's why a summer at age 10 feels endless, but a year at 50 might fly by. The trick? Keep doing new things to slow time down again.
Do memories get more distorted as we age, or more meaningful?
A bit of both. As we age, our brains tend to blend or reshape memories. Details can get fuzzy or swapped around. But emotionally, the memories that stick tend to carry more meaning. Older adults often focus on positive events and reflect on them with a sense of perspective. So while accuracy might go down, emotional clarity often goes up. In a way, memory becomes less about facts and more about the story we tell ourselves about who we are.
Why do some older adults stay mentally sharp while others experience decline?
It's a mix of genetics, lifestyle, and environment. Some people have a biological advantage, brain structures that are more resistant to decline. But daily habits matter too. Staying socially connected, mentally active, and physically healthy all help. Things like reading, walking, learning new skills, or even just talking regularly with others keep the brain engaged. There's no perfect formula, but use it or lose it really does apply. Mental sharpness tends to reflect how much the brain stays in motion.
Why do teens and older adults often feel misunderstood by each other?
They're at totally different stages in life. Teens are focused on discovering who they are, while older adults have more clarity but may struggle with feeling relevant. Each group sees the world through their own lens, shaped by different experiences and technology. Teens may feel dismissed, while older adults may feel overlooked. But when they actually talk, they often find shared feelings like uncertainty, creativity, or wanting to matter. Bridging that gap just takes a little listening from both sides.
Why do old people sometimes stop caring what others think? And is that freeing?
Yes, and it's one of the perks of getting older. As people age, they tend to become more secure in who they are. The pressure to impress others fades, and what matters most becomes clearer. Health, relationships, meaning. Letting go of others' opinions can feel like a weight being lifted. Of course, not everyone gets there, but many older adults say they finally feel comfortable being themselves. It's one of aging's quiet gifts. Less pretending, more peace.
Why do some people age gracefully while others seem to struggle?
Graceful aging isn't about avoiding wrinkles, it's about adaptability. People who age well often stay socially connected, curious, and active, both physically and mentally. Genetics help, but mindset plays a huge role. Those who embrace change, manage stress, and maintain purpose tend to do better. On the flip side, isolation, chronic stress, or a lack of support can accelerate decline. Aging hits everyone differently, but resilience, attitude, and daily habits make a big difference in how people navigate it.
Is there any real science behind longevity genes?
Yes, there is. Scientists have identified specific genes that seem linked to longer lifespans, like those that affect inflammation, cell repair, and metabolism. Some people have rare gene variants that help their bodies resist age-related diseases or repair cellular damage better than average. But it's not all in your DNA. Lifestyle and environment also play huge roles. Think of it like this: your genes set the foundation, but your choices, diet, movement, stress, help decide how long and how well you live.
Can we actually reverse aging in humans or just in mice?
Right now, most of the big breakthroughs have been in mice and other lab animals. Scientists have reversed some age-related decline using gene therapy, cell reprogramming, or drugs that target aging pathways. In humans, we're not there yet, but early trials are happening. The idea of partial reversal, like restoring some function or resilience, is more realistic in the near term. Fully reversing aging? That's still science fiction. But slowing it down in meaningful ways? That's getting closer to reality.
How close are we to achieving biological immortality?
We're not close, at least not yet. While some scientists believe it might be possible to drastically extend human life, biological immortality, never aging or dying naturally, is still hypothetical. We're making progress in understanding how aging works at a cellular level, But even the best current therapies add a few years, not centuries. The real question might not be, can we live forever? But, how long can we stay healthy, and what kind of life would that be?
Do people in other cultures age better than people in the West?
In some ways, yes. In places called blue zones, like Okinawa, Japan, or Sardinia, Italy, people often live longer, healthier lives. Their diets are mostly plant-based, they stay physically active, and they're deeply connected to community. There's also more respect for elders, which boosts mental health. In contrast, Western culture often isolates older people and prioritizes youth. So yes, environment and cultural values seem to shape not just how long people live, but how well they age.
If you could live forever, would you want to, and why or why not?
It's tempting to say yes. Imagine all the books you could read or places you could visit. But living forever brings big questions. Would your friends and family be there too? Would life lose meaning without an end? Some people say the beauty of life comes from its limits. Others would love the chance to keep learning and evolving. So it really depends on your values. Do you want more time? Or do you want a richer experience within the time you already have?
What does aging mean in a world where AI and robotics are on the rise?
Aging in an AI-driven world could be very different. Robotics might help with mobility and caregiving. AI could assist with memory, companionship, or health monitoring, and people may stay engaged longer through virtual jobs or hobbies. On the flip side, there's a risk of older adults being left behind if tech outpaces access or understanding. Ideally, technology should help us age with more dignity, connection, and independence, not just efficiency.
Will Gen Z age differently because of digital life and tech dependence?
Most likely, yes. Gen Z has grown up with screens, social media, and constant connectivity, which will shape how they think, communicate, and possibly even how their brains function long-term. On one hand, they may stay more plugged in and tech-savvy as they age. On the other, they might face new mental health or attention-related challenges. Aging for Gen Z may look less physical and more digital. Think avatars, virtual work, and AI-assisted healthcare. The tools will be different, but the human part still matters.
Can AI help people preserve their personality or mind after death?
In theory, yes, and early versions already exist. People have started creating AI chatbots of loved ones based on texts, recordings, and social media. It's not true consciousness, but it can mimic personality and voice. Some see it as comforting, others find it eerie. As tech improves, we might see more lifelike digital selves that live on after we're gone. The big question is whether preserving data can ever capture the soul of a person, or if it's just a reflection of who they were.
That seems like a good place to end this episode. Thanks once again for all the answers, ChatGPT.
My pleasure, Taryn. Time may march on, but your relentless curiosity makes the journey interesting.
That's basically the same thing you said at the end of the Disneyland episode, but I'll still take it as a compliment. To everyone watching at home, thank you for joining us for 20 Questions with ChatGPT. If you have ideas for future episodes, topics, or midlife crises you'd like us to explore in depth, please let us know in the comments. And if you're new here, check out the rest of the channel. If you like what you see, hit like, subscribe, and share. Ideally, before you forget why you opened YouTube. Say goodnight, ChatGPT.
Good night, ChatGPT.
Good night.
20 questions with ChatGPT. 20 questions with ChatGPT. What's the topic? Let me see.